Have you ever found a job posting that felt like it was written just for you? You polish your resume, you send it off, and then crickets. Nothing. It's like it just disappeared into a void. Well, today, we're going to crack the code on exactly why that happens and, more importantly, what you can do about it. Let's get into it.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. Is a robot actually rejecting your job application before a person even gets a chance to see it? If you've ever felt like your resume just vanished into some digital black hole, well, the answer is yeah, probably. And it happens a lot more than you think.
So who, or what, is this invisible gatekeeper standing between you and your dream job? It's time to pull back the curtain and meet the main character in our story today, the Applicant Tracking System, or as everyone calls it, the ATS.
So what is an ATS? In the simplest terms, it's a piece of software. It's a tool companies use to sort through the mountain of resumes they get. It scans, filters, and ranks every single application that comes in. You could think of it like a bouncer at a club. Your resume has to get past it just to get in the door. And listen, this isn't some rare piece of tech that only giant companies use. Nope, the vast majority of companies, big and small, rely on an ATS. So, understanding how these things work isn't just a neat trick. It's pretty much a required skill for any job search today. But why? Why are companies using them? Honestly, it all boils down to one thing: volume. A single job ad can pull in hundreds, sometimes thousands of applications. It's just not possible for a human to read them all. So the ATS is there to save time, to automatically sort candidates, and to let recruiters search for specific skills. It's a tool for efficiency, but as we're about to see, it has some pretty big side effects for you. Okay, so if it's just a time-saving tool, where does it all go wrong? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how these systems read your resume, and, more importantly, how they misread it. This is why perfectly good candidates get filtered out.
This is where it gets really fascinating. When a person looks at your resume, they see the whole picture: the clean design, the smart layout, the way you've organized your experience. But an ATS? It sees none of that. It just sees a wall of text. And if you've used fancy formatting, it can get confused, scrambling your info, or just missing key details altogether.
So what are these formatting mistakes? Well, ironically, it's often the things we do to make our resumes look better to a human. Using tables and columns, putting your contact info in the header, choosing a cool, unique font, even getting creative with your section headings, like My Superpowers instead of just Skills. The ATS often can't read this stuff, which means that crucial information just becomes invisible to the system. But okay, let's say your formatting is perfect. You're still not in the clear. You've got to pass the second big test, the keyword test. See, once your resume's in the database, recruiters search it like it's Google. They type in keywords for the skills they're looking for, and where do they get those keywords? Straight from the job description. If those exact words and phrases aren't on your resume, you simply won't show up.
And this, right here, is where we flip the script. To get past this digital gatekeeper, you have to learn to speak its language. It means shifting your entire strategy, moving from a focus on how it looks to a focus on clear structure and the right keywords.
I love this quote because it really gets to the heart of it. This isn't about cheating or trying to trick the system. It's just about effective communication. It's about translating your skills and your experience into a format that the machine can actually understand. So let's compare the two approaches. The old way was all about visuals, writing for the human eye. The new way, you have to write for the machine first. That means focusing on a simple, standard format and making sure you're aligned with the keywords from the job description. Once you pass that robot test, then and only then does a human get to see it and be wowed by your actual experience. So how in the world are you supposed to do all this? Do you just have to guess? Well, thankfully, no. Let's take a look inside the digital toolkit that's popped up to solve this exact problem. ATS optimization tools. The process itself is actually super simple. First, you just upload the resume you already have. Second, you copy and paste the job description you're interested in. The tool then instantly analyzes both and spits out a match score, along with concrete step-by-step feedback on how to make it better. So what's happening under the hood? Well, these tools do a few key things. They do that crucial keyword matching, showing you which skills from the job description you're missing. They run a format check to catch those things that confuse the bots, like tables or weird fonts. They make sure your section headings are standard. And some can even give you suggestions on how to word things better. It's pretty comprehensive.
All right, so you've done the work. You've tweaked your resume. You're speaking the machine's language. What's the actual payoff? What happens when you get this right?
The payoff is frankly huge. The data shows that people who take the time to optimize their resumes for an ATS get, on average, 3 times more interviews. Let that sink in for a second. That's not a small bump. That's a total game changer for a job search.
And it's not just numbers. Listen to this from a real person, a user named Thelonious. He said that after he started using the tool, every single application got a response. That's the difference it makes when you finally get past that first filter and into the hands of a real person. Now, a fair question might be popping into your head. Is this ethical? Does this feel like gaming the system? And it's a good thing to ask, but here's the key. You are not making things up. You're not faking skills. You are just making the skills you already have more readable for a piece of software. You are always in the driver's seat. You approve every change, and your data is kept totally secure.
Which really brings us to the big final question for today. In this new world of hiring, who are you writing your resume for? The human or the machine? And the answer, really, is both. The challenge now is to create a document that speaks the simple, structured language of the machine so that it can finally get the chance to tell your powerful human story to the person who needs to hear it.